Alright, so we're almost done talking about this event. We've talked about some of the servants, the free-to-plays, what you're going to be doing during the event, but we have the final ultimate question. Is it worth rolling on either Banner 1 or Banner 2? Now, you might see that Banner 2 is not up yet. That's because we haven't gotten it on the NA version over here, but it will be coming out. This is what Banner 2 is going to look like. So we're going to talk about all that and more in today's video and whether or not either of these banners are actually worth your Saint Quartz. But before we begin, if you have not already, make sure you leave a like on the video and you subscribe to the channel for that sweet daily FGO content, because your boy is always out here trying to make sure that you are informed on the goings-on on both versions of the game. Also, if you want to see me play FGO live, I stream every weekday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm actually messing around with stuff like Arknights as well, so if that fascinates you or tickles your pickle, then make sure you come out to the Twitch to see me play those live. But let's go ahead and start talking about some of these servants. So, first and foremost, I think this is the prize banner. I think if there is a banner for you to summon on that you will get some value out of, I think it is this banner. This is not bad because, you know, Maeve is very, very strong. Altera will be getting a buff that will make her a lot better. She'll be getting a battery, so she'll be really good when it comes to damage as like a Buster AoE farmer if you want to use her for that. It also makes her easier to use in like challenge quests if you're one of those weird guys using her in that aspect. She definitely gets a lot better. And Maeve is kind of like a pseudo support slash DPS servant with a really good damage mod against males, and is also able to give them like battery and double buff them with a 40% attack buff. Just generally like very, very strong servants on here. I would say that like Tamamo Cat and Nero are not quite as good. They're probably still looking at maybe like a buff or two away from becoming good, but I guess someone like, especially Nero, is very, very popular. So if you're wanting to summon on them for like that reason, because you just really like Maeve, or you're really like Extella like me, and you just, you know, got to get yourself Nero or Altera, again, can't stop you for summoning for servants that you really like. But as far as like meta value, or like if you're going for the gameplay, it's really just not that worth going for. I mean, the Ereshkigal CE is on here and it's really cute, but this is not something you want to be spending your Saint Quartz on, especially like not even for like Lost Belt 6 coming out, because that is right around the corner. But you do admittedly have a little bit of time, I suppose. You got a couple of months, but the Summer 5 rerun is going to be coming back around, and that brings like Summer Kiara back. It also will be bringing Fujino back around, who I know is not quite as rare as she originally was, because we did get a banner, I believe last year on NA, where they were like, surprise, we brought her back. But still a very rare servant, right? Like you get like very like rare servants over here, and you get very strong servants in like Summer Kiara that are probably more worth your Saint Quartz for going for. Again, like that is a bit closer to the actual release of Lost Belt 6, but I'm like, man, if you've got that like summoning sickness and you really just gotta go hard on a banner, it's probably better to go on this one or the original first banner over here. Now, I have already put out my video on Miss Crane, so if you want like full details of how good she is and you want to see me kind of mess around with her, I have some gameplay over there as well. I'm sure it is a fully optimal gameplay. I'm sure I was not roasted in the comments at all whatsoever, but she's very, very fun to use. It's kind of the main point. You can really do whatever you want with her, because Plug Suit is one of the strongest abilities just in FGO. The ability to replace any of your servants with somebody else is always going to be very strong. Again, it's the same reason why, say, Chen Gong or Arash are very strong, because Arash can clear a wave and then replace himself with someone else, so he cycles out, and so does someone like Chen Gong, except Chen Gong cycles out other buffers, right? So you can kind of go through all of your slots, and your back row actually can be put to full use, whereas most of the time they're just holding on to like your bond TEs. So Miss Crane's really good for that because she has a very, very strong skill set. I actually compared her to Tamamo in the video, in that like I believe Miss Crane, in my opinion, has a better skill set than someone like Tamamo. Obviously Tamamo's a bit better in art setups, right? She's going to be better than Miss Crane there because of the fat arts buff. But in general, she's just got a better skill set. Like all of her skills do very, very powerful things, and she's got a stronger NP as well. Like that NP is insanely strong. Although I guess you could debate on like the double buffing plus the battery versus Tamamo doing the reduced skill cooldown. That is still very powerful. But in general, I really do like Miss Crane. I think she stacks up very well with a lot of the other supports and is very, very strong. I think the issue is that she does not give immediate battery on any of her skills. And because she doesn't do that, she's never going to be held in the same regard as like Waver, Merlin, Castoria, Scotty, you know, Koyenskaya, Oberon, all of these people who can give you immediate access to your NP, whereas Miss Crane cannot do that, right? Like, she has to kind of like dip out and activate her own NP before she could do that. I think once they give someone like Miss Crane and Tamamo, like even just 20% for the entire party, I think people will actually really realize how good those servants are. But I say all this because I have nothing but praise for the servant, basically. And I think she is really strong. And I think if you are going to roll for her, I would say roll responsibly. But I think this could be one of those servants that is kind of worth going for because she's a lot of fun to use. But if you don't care about fun value, right, then don't summon, right? That's kind of like the main thing. That'd be like my main pushing point for Miss Crane, is that it is just a lot of fun to throw her into team comps because it opens up a lot of what you can do. And having your own Miss Crane is better than using a friend's, right? Because then you could still have like your double guys, or you could bring your double cast warrior or something, and Miss Crane can allow you to cycle in for whoever else you want. You could do some really fun stuff. So I think she is definitely like someone that if you're going to go for, you will get your quartz out of it. And you do have a little bit of time between now and when Lost Belt 6 should be releasing in June. So I'll say that she's kind of worth going for. Like, you'll get your Saint Court value out of it. MHX Alter, you'll also get some value out of, because again, I have her on the NA version, don't have Scotty, and I have still used this servant to absolutely mop up just type neutral against Sabers, and I'm very excited to put her to use against good alignment people because she's going to absolutely cook. I keep comparing her with Tyra because they kind of are two halves of the same coin. They will both destroy whoever they're fighting, but MHX is just kind of like, nah, instead of like any survivability at all whatsoever, I am just going to immediately nuke them with very, very strong NPs and strong crits, whereas Tyra is going to like kind of sustain her way through the fight. Like, she's going to build up, get stronger as the fight goes on, and then she's also going to be very good when it comes to like double guts and like having the dodges and everything. So, you know, she's like a lot better for like those fights, but they're still both really, really good. And if you do go for her, because who doesn't like Echan, then you can also get some value out of her. Although I think maybe less so than Miss Crane, because it's not like there's not a lot of other servants that do what Miss Crane does, but you can substitute other quick single target DPSs, right? They may not be as good, but you could probably find like other options. I mean, even Ushi's over on rate up over here. If you don't have her, I mean, I don't know what you're doing. You go roll friend point, gotcha. But like, you can make do with other like single targets that are free to play. Like, you know, Ushi's out there and she's got a new outfit, so that can be really, really nice. Nito Chris, this is a very valuable servant that I think adds a bit of value to the banner, because you'll see that she's on rate up with both Crane and MHX Alter. So yeah, like, she's just a very good utility servant to have on your account. Like, having Nito Chris is very, very helpful. Like, just having someone that even as like a newer player, because, you know, I'll just pull her up over here just to show this. I believe it's skill level 6 that you need to get her to for her to have 100% battery. Oh no, it's skill level 8. But yeah, still regardless, like, you get her pretty much not all the way there, but, you know, not expending a lore or whatever, and you could have 100% battery for someone that can clear waves rather easily, right? Because she does, like, you know, kind of dip into the insta-kill mechanic, which usually isn't good, but because she does it here and on NP, you can actually kind of start counting on her insta-killing bronze and silver enemies, and maybe some gold enemies if you're lucky. And because of the fact that they recently buffed this, she can actually do a little bit of damage as well. So like, if she misses out on like a kill for someone, say you got like a bunch of 30k enemies on the board and you were planning on her insta-killing them, well, now instead of it being like, well, she missed 2 insta-kills, now she actually just might be able to take them out. And again, a free wave clear is always nice. And then, you know, I'm not really going to talk too much about Serenity because she's a free-to-play servant, basically. So, you know, you're going to get her eventually at some point. But yeah, like, this is like a really good strong banner. I don't really recommend this one. It just does not scream something that is worth your Saint Quartz. I mean, because even if, like, you wanted the Ereshkigal Galsi, it's also over here as well. Like, there's kind of no reason to go over here. The 4-star is really good. Is on rate up with both of them. This is one of the best, if not the best, single target quick servant in the game. And this is just a very fun support type servant to use. Ultimately, like, if you wanted like the smartest thing to do, which is really boring, it's like save for the people over here, because like Morgan is one of the best like AoE buster servants in the game. Koyan Sky like makes buster looping possible, and then Oberon takes buster looping from being like on par with arts looping, I would say, and then he just takes it to like a new tier. Like, he just makes it even better. He makes it absolutely cracked. He makes it so good. So like, you got like just too much good stuff over here. I mean, personally, if I had the extra Saint Quartz, I'd probably roll for Crane, but you know, I already went out for Jean, so I don't know if I can really be doing this. But if you do, you know, you'll get some value. But the boring answer is save for Clay and Sky and Oberon. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and let me know if you guys, sorry, I can't speak, you guys were able to get Miss Crane or MHX Alter if you did roll for her. All right, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace, late guys.